Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Monte Cook games. We're going to talk about how a game company should present their politics in their game, what's acceptable and what's not. All right, and the reason why we're talking about this today is RPG Elite. So if you don't know, RPG Elite is a content creator right here on YouTube, and he is he's an interesting guy. He yeah, let's get into it. So he does physical product, right? So he doesn't really review PDFs. He prefers physical product. He gets physical products sent to him. He's got a very organized channel, right? And people send, different companies will send content to him, physical product, and then he will review it, right? And at some point, he got linked up with Monte Cook Games. Now, this is kind of interesting. I'm fascinated by Monte Cook. He was a designer on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the year 2013 when it was being built. And he had a kerfuffle with Mike Mearls, and he left. Okay, so he abandoned D&D 5e design. That was really important, and the reason why is it's almost a certainty that was good. Because Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and Mike Mearls' work on it is peerless. Like, it's literally, like, he rescued Dungeons & Dragons from the debacle of 4th edition, right? So Mike Mearls came in, crushed it with 5th edition, and he had some back and forth. He had some arguments, right, with, at minimum, vigorous disagreements, right, with Monte Cook, and they went their separate ways. And basically, Monte Cook was like, I'm taking my ball and going home, and he literally left. And and when he left, he started up Monte Cook Games and created the Cypher system. Now the reality is, Mike Mearls' work embarrassed Monte Cook, right? Monte Cook, like, you know who won, right? Because Monte Cook had to convert his material to 5th edition, right? You will find 5e conversions of Monte Cook's work done by Monte Cook for his Cypher system games, right? It ain't the other way around. Mike Mearls is like, oh yeah, and we're going to take our Dungeons & Dragons content and convert it to Cypher. No, like, Mike Mearls was easily able to forget Monte Cook existed. Monte Cook was not able to forget that Mike Mearls' design work existed. He had to bend the knee and do the conversion, right? Because Mike Mearls' design work was simply better. It defeated Mike Mearls. Mike Mearls defeated Monte Cook, right? And I can tell you right now, if Monte Cook had won, D&D 5e would have looked like a Cypher system, right? And I don't think it would definitely not have worked. I love Cypher system. I've run it. You can find an entire campaign right here where I actually, I played it, and I give recaps of all the, and I like it, but I'll tell you right now, it would not have commercially worked. It wouldn't have, right? There's just no two ways. Cypher system only is only appealing to intellectual wonks, right? It's not for the common man. Whereas Dungeons and Dragons can be played by the common man, right? Like a common woman, right? So that. What was interesting was RPG Elite got into it, and he's like, hey, I am not going to review. He did say he would fulfill his commitment for every physical product that Monte Cook sent him, that Monte Cook Games sent him. He's going to complete the review. But at this point, he's taking down all of his recommendations for their products, and he's disconnecting his company from them. And the reason why, I didn't look it up, and he was very vague in his video, but I know why. Monte Cook is outrageously liberal, right, and very anti-religion. Basically he's very anti-Christian and very anti-Republican, very anti-conservative, very anti-traditional, right? And him and everyone in his company is extremely vocal about it. And one of the reasons why is they're literally on the left coast. They're in the middle of Hollywood. I think his company is like based in LA, and they have Hollywood values, right? Like, and they're very adamantly really don't like, if not, in my opinion, I think it verges on hate. I think they're very hateful to people of faith, honestly. Like they have a game called I think Godless was one of their games, right? They definitely have a realm where the gods are removed, right? And so I thought that was really interesting. So the question then becomes, hey, um, should companies make political statements, right? Should tabletop role-playing game companies make political statements? And here's my answer. Yes, in the lore and in the rules, and in the lore and in the layout, in the writing, in the layout, and in the art of their tabletop role-playing games, they should get as political as they want, right? They should make it clear through their lore and through their world what their politics are. But they should not be posting on, oh, hey, F the president, like, or anything like that, or I'm against the president, or I'm against this law, right? Nobody cares, right? Like, now we do care if it has to do with the lore, right? And you absolutely have every right to put forward your values in the lore, in the mechanics, and in the art, right? But you should definitely not be doing this openly beyond that in tweets, right? And going, I don't like this Republican president, right? You're a company, man. You don't need to be doing that, right? And the reason why I think this is the best model is this is exactly what Gary Gygax did. He was extremely progressive in the game, right? He's like, hey, everybody, please make your player character. And people were like, well, I'm a dude. Can I make a woman? Can I make a woman player character? Of course you can. We're all progressive and liberal here in the mechanics, in the lore, in the layout, right? But at no point did Gary Gygax ever go, oh, I don't like Jimmy Carter. Like, you see where I'm going? Like, this is very clear. Make your political statements in the lore, in the writing, in the layout, right? But don't make your political statements just bald-faced on your Twitter account. It's inelegant and it's bad and it loses you business, right? RPG Elite is a very traditional guy. And he's like, I don't like this. I'm out on Monte Cook Games. I think it was very cool that he's gonna finish his commitments for the physical product that was sold to him. But I kind of think this is right. Like, and if a company is like, hey, we're going to bald-faced with no elegance, not using lore, not using mechanics, not using art, we're going to say our politics bald-faced. Yeah, to me, nobody should be buying from them. I think it's a bad idea, right? Now, wait. I think nobody should be buying from them, but I will say some people's games are so good, I'll ignore that. And actually, RPG Elite did the same thing. He's like, I'm going to give them grace. But then he's like, they just kept pressing the line, and they went over the line. I'm in the same boat. I give some grace. If your stuff is banger, man, maybe I don't care about your politics, but it better be banger, right? And I think Monte Cook's stuff, their bald-faced, inelegant handling of their political beliefs was not matched by the quality of their product, right? So I thought this was very interesting that RPG Elite is nixing Monte Cook Games. Very, very interesting. And I think he had it right. I think that's the right way to go. And if you're an RPG company, don't make your politics bald-faced, right? Put it in the lore, put it in the mechanics, put it in the layout, right? Be elegant about it, right? That way, there's a little bit of art, there's a little bit of debate. Hey, what do these creatures represent? Maybe they represent, love is love is love. At least there could be some debate about it, right? There could be some conversation. And that can be a joyful experience rather than like, oh, Monte Cook doesn't like Trump. That ain't joyful for nobody. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.